Supreme Court, but what will it tantamount to? Practically nothing much legality-wise. Sahil Joshi, I want to bring you in. What lies before now Uddhav Thackeray? Number one, yes, they're going to go to the Supreme Court, but there's an election in order. At best, Uddhav Thackeray can go with the sympathy card to the voter and say, my party has been stolen from me.
Well, that is the card he's going to play. And, the way they were playing it, in fact, we spoke before the verdict, that is what was the expectation. That was the prediction I had made while speaking to you at around 4:30. Now, interestingly, what I could see in this is that the speaker has not disqualified Uddhav Thackeray's MLAs as well. So if he would have disqualified Uddhav Thackeray's MLAs, then they could have rushed to the Supreme Court asking for the relief, asking for the stay on speaker's order so that their MLAs should not be disqualified. And, that could have been termed as an urgency in the matter. But now that his MLAs have not been disqualified, they will immediately move to the Supreme Court. But I have doubts that whether Supreme Court will hear it immediately. And, even in the Supreme Court, the hearing will go on for 2-3 months. By the time the Lok Sabha elections will get over, and then within 6 months of time, Maharashtra Assembly elections in October are due. And by the time Supreme Court will arrive on the verdict, we cannot predict at this point of time whether Speaker's position will be upheld, whether the Supreme Court will go against the Speaker's version of the events. We will have to wait and see. But even if it goes in favor of Uddhav Thackeray, it serves no purpose, because by the time the elections will already there in couple of months, and the purpose of the whole fight will go in vain. Most importantly, the way Rahul Narvekar has given this verdict, it's interesting to see, to put it in nutshell, in 5 points, what Rahul Narvekar had said. 1, the party belongs to Eknath Shinde. 2, the whip of Eknath Shinde is the real whip of Shiv Sena. 3, Uddhav Thackeray was the leader of the party in 2018 and in 2022. But the constitution of the Shiv Sena does not belong to Uddhav Thackeray. It doesn't gel with Uddhav Thackeray's leadership, because the constitution accepted by the Election Commission of India is from 1999, and the constitution which gives power to Uddhav Thackeray to decide the party's party's strategy, party's orders does not apply. So because they are not in conformity with each other, the leadership structure of Uddhav Thackeray cannot be taken into consideration while deciding who actually were giving the orders in June 2022. And the fourth most important point, because Eknath Shinde's whip was not issued to Uddhav Thackeray's MLAs, they did not receive the whip. That is the reason why they did not disobey the whip, and that is the reason why even Uddhav Thackeray's MLAs cannot be disqualified. Now, please understand, it's very difficult for the people to understand what exactly has transpired. He has accepted that Uddhav Thackeray was the leader of the party in 2022, but his leadership structure of the party is not in conformity with the constitution of the party, and that is the reason why the decisions which were being taken by Uddhav Thackeray at this particular that point of time cannot be considered as the party order, order of the party, the decision of the party into June 2022, and that is the reason why whatever the majority of the MLAs decided in June 2022 is the will of the party, and that is the reason why Eknath Shinde is the leader of the legislative party in Maharashtra Assembly. So it is very interesting judgment, and I think he has given a blueprint to a lot of people. The whole 10th schedule was brought in India to keep a check on the wholesale trading of the MLAs, the wholesale defection of the MLAs, and that was the worry which actually has happened, and it has also got the affirmity, the conformity, and
Sahil, bang on, stay with me, because somewhere down the line he's also laying precedent, because by 31st January there also has to be a decision that needs to be made on the NCP disqualification of MLAs. I'm going to come right back. Sahil, let me introduce.
Just give me one line.
Sir, let me introduce Dr. Raju Wagmare. He hasn't come in yet. Spokesperson, Maharashtra Congress. Dr. Raju Wagmare, with what has gone down today, do you see this as a setback or possible a creation of a sympathy wave that you could ride on in Lok Sabha?
See, actually, you don't need a fortune teller to tell today's judgment what judgment will Mr. Narvekar will give. It was clear-cut judgment would come, And because the criteria being all this political situation is to keep Shinde as a CM, take as much time as they can to come close to the election. So this judgment, definitely they will come. They knew that when they will come with this judgment, it's clearly the Mr. Narvekar is much intelligent and much superior or much very talented scholar of constitution than the Supreme Court itself. When Supreme Court denied the whip which created by the Eknath Shinde. So this is like this kind of judgment when Mr. Narvekar is giving, it is clearly
Okay.
things that they just wanted to kill the time. They know that the Uddhav Thackeray will go to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court will take time to give the judgment and they want that time. But it is good that Mr. Sahil said that by the time the judgment will come, the Vidhan Sabha elections will be there in Maharashtra in another 4-5 months' time. And that is a crucial time. Before that, this judgment will come. And we hope and we knew that this judgment will come from the Supreme Court and it will be disqualified under the 10th schedule, para
Okay.
3, that the Eknath Shinde's party. And that time, the sympathy wave as well as the total participation of each and every Shiv Sainik from Maharashtra with Mr. Uddhav Thackeray, because
Okay.
everybody knows that the party belongs to Uddhav Thackeray and his father, and this kind of clerical
Okay.
things what Mr. Narvekar is bringing forward, it is useless. There is
Okay.
no any legal